I will say this. They did get 3 players, young players with upside. We don't know what's going to happen to those players, but they did get...
Jimmy Butler level upside?
I'm not certainly betting on it. My problem with the Bulls last night was they announced they were going to rebuild. Okay, there is some points for picking a path. Then they went out and they gave the 16th pick in this trade. Not only did they trade Jimmy Butler, they also traded the 16th pick, which turned out to be Justin Patton. Who knows who they would have taken. But still, if you're rebuilding, don't give away the 16th pick. I mean, it was already a really good trade for the Wolves before they got the 16th. I would have held out on that. Then later on in the draft, the 38th pick. Now, I'm not going to go to the wall here on the 38th pick, but we've seen really good players taken in the 30s. Draymond Green was the 35th pick, and he's one of the top 10 players in the league in my mind. They sold it for $3.5 million.
This was so weird. I didn't understand this at all.
I don't understand the money aspect. I mean, $3.5 million is $3.5 million.
What, this is the Dwayne Wade buyout fund?
Well, they reduced their payroll in this trade, and my guess is they're probably going to let Rajon Rondo walk now because it doesn't. They've now got a new point guard in Chris Dunn. I don't see why they would keep Rondo.
Right.
So they're already going to reduce their payroll significantly as part of this maneuvers from this deal. Why the extra $3.5 million for the 38th pick? I mean, to me, that giving away 16 and trading 38 sort of undercut the move. But
also, if you're any GM in this league, are you doing business to help the Warriors right now?
That is a bad look.
Right?
In fact, the fact that the Warriors wanted to buy the pick straight up would be enough to not do the deal. Because I don't want to help the Warriors in any shape or form, and they're a beautifully run franchise. If they want it, I should keep it.
And by the way, not just want it, but $3.5 million want it, which is close to the maximum they could have paid.
I think it pretty much was the maximum that they could pay.
So that's a big question mark to me. I want to talk to you about the Wolves side, though, because you have been hot on the Wolves.
Yes.
A little early, let's say, but now, finally, after 2 years of saying they're going to make the playoffs, now they finally should make the playoffs, right?
Well, it's been 13 years. I mean, at some point you have to get back. So one of the things that's happened with the Wolves in each of the last 2 years, they've been terrible in clutch situations at the end of games. There's been a couple of reasons for this. One of the reasons is they don't have great shooting. That's not going to be solved with Jimmy Butler. Right. However, he is one of the best clutch performers in the NBA, both offensively and defensively. Even forget about what he's going to mean for Andrew Wiggins and Karl Towns and their other young players. What he brings to the table on the court under pressure is almost at the top of the list in terms of doing that in the NBA. And getting a player like that is huge for them. But I will say this. They inherit the same problems that the Bulls had, which is that Jimmy Butler is on the clock. He's got 2 years on his contract, and obviously it's a new start. Tom Thibodeau is going to be a lot of excitement, and that won't be worried about right now. But a year from now, they're going to be in the same situation the Pacers are in with Paul George. So that's a factor that you got to realize in what the Wolves bought into.
And they won't have the Supermax as an incentive,
right? They will not,
because they did not draft Jimmy Butler.
That's true.
So there you go. I do want to also ask you about Dwayne Wade. I mentioned that he opted in just a few days ago. Now, we were talking about this when we watched the draft together last night. I actually thought it was smart of Wade to have made this decision before the Butler trade. A lot of people were saying, oh, gee, I bet he's sorry he opted in. First of all, he opted in for $24 million. I don't think he's sorry about that at all. Also, if you opt in when Butler's there, you get the advantage of saying, hey, I opted into a team I thought was going to have Jimmy Butler on it. I'm so surprised you traded for him. You traded him away. I guess you're just going to have to buy me out now.
That's exactly right. That is somebody who's been around the NBA for more than a week right there. And by the way, he didn't just say he was opting in.
He signed the paper.
He signed the
did.
Paperwork
We checked this last night, right?
1 week early.
Really?
1 week early. I mean, in the NBA, typically, when you have an option, even if you intend to take it, team or player, you wait up until the actual day because who knows what would happen. Like Jimmy Butler gets traded. So now this creates a secondary market. First off, I think Rondo will be back on the market. So does somebody want Rajon Rondo? You might be able to get him within the next 10 days. And then what if Dwayne Wade goes to the Bulls and says, release me? The Bulls, in this position, Rachel, I think that they want to tank. If I were them, I would want my draft pick to be as high as possible next year. You may not even want Dwayne Wade on your roster. So now it's going to be a matter of negotiation because the Bulls might say, well, how much is it worth to you to be out on the market in July? Or do they want to go into the little dance of the regular season? But it's possible that Dwayne Wade at some point in the near future could be a free agent with his Bulls money so that a team like maybe the Cavs could go and get him for much less than market value.